and we're in Saratoga Springs. We're in New York with Governor John Kasich of Ohio. He's our guest for the hour. I purposely didn't start with process questions because I know it annoys you, and it annoys a lot of the other candidates. Look, the only way you can get this nomination is in a contested convention. That bothers some people, some of your opponents. I want to give you a chance to explain how you get the nomination.
You know, I'm not comparing myself, but that's what they told Lincoln when he was going to that convention.
He got it on the third ballot.
Yeah. But you know what he told everybody? He said, "Let me just be your second choice. If you're not for me first, you know, how about?" You know, and he snuck it in there. Look, Sean, nobody's going to have the 1237, as I think that's the number you need. And we're going to go to a convention, and there's a misunderstanding of conventions. Who's going to be there? It's going to be party faithful, people who work for 30 years, you know, stuffing envelopes. There'll be ward leaders. There'll be, you know, state legislators, former politicians. But when you go into a convention, you start to now assume a certain weight and a heaviness on your shoulder that you didn't have before you got there. I saw it in '76 because I worked at that convention for Governor Reagan. And what they're going to do is they're going to look at two things. Who can beat Hillary? And I hate to say this, but I'm the only one who consistently beats her in every single poll.
Right. Shouldn't hate to say that.
And they're going to think about who can be president. So what's incumbent on us? We're going to have to go to all these delegations. And look, the Trump people, they're for Trump. They're for me. They're second. I'm second. I mean, I understand them. So, you know, it's going to be incumbent on us to go and visit the delegations.
Would you ever team up with them?
No, I'm not teaming up with anybody.
Let me ask this question, because this is a tough question.
Yeah, ask whatever.
If Trump or Cruz win more states, have millions of more votes, have a lot more, hundreds of more delegates than you do, and you leapfrog over them through a contested convention, don't you think, you talked about uniting the party, don't you think Cruz and Trump supporters are going to be pretty pissed off?
Well, no, because, you know, first of all, a lot of them that will go as delegates, they're there for a variety of different reasons.
I mean the people that voted, the people that...
Well, look, here's the thing. Your daughter got a B-. Now, here's why.
We have to tell the whole world?
Here's the thing.
She mostly got A's, you know.
No, she got a lot of A's, but here's the thing.
It was in French. I don't blame her.
Okay, look, here's the thing. In order to get an A, you must get a 90. If you get an 83, you don't get an A. I don't care what people say. We got the rules, and the only rules we have are the total number of delegates. And then you go to the convention. And if you go in with a massive lead, you're likely to win. But if you can't convince the delegates that you can win in the fall, which neither of them can do, and secondly, that they're not convinced you would be the best leader or president, what's wrong with the delegates on the second or third ballot saying, I'm going to pick somebody that I think would do better, who would win and be a better president? I don't get that.
Look, I'm surrounded by all your supporters here. Well, but I want to ask this question. This is important. This question is important.
You need to hear this. These are not my... I did a town hall here, and then we invited you.
How many of you are voting for John Kasich? Okay. So then mostly your supporters.
Well, but we send out notifications, say we're going to have a town hall. People show up, whoever they are. I don't know. You know,
as somebody, I have taken the position, I'm never Hillary. You know the hashtag never Hillary?
Yeah,
all right. So,
me too.
I know you are. I guess what I'm afraid of, and I'm thinking out loud here, for example, 34 delegates were awarded in Colorado this weekend. You didn't get one. Trump didn't get one. And it seems kind of unfair, like the establishment is kind of working.
Well, look at what happened in Michigan. There was a battle for delegates, you know, and
aren't these rules insane, though? I mean, really, it seems you can win a state and come out with less delegates. It seems like if they want to, for a time, stop candidate A because they don't want that candidate to get to 1237, they'll use candidate B and C to stop candidate A.
Look, I'm not engaged in that, but here's what I'll tell you.
But the establishment is.
I don't know who they are. I've never met them.
I'll tell you who. Mitt Romney.
Yeah, well.
Wait a minute. Karl Rove said we need a fresh face.
Yeah.
Scott Walker is looking for Paul Ryan. John Boehner in your home state said nominate Paul Ryan.
Well, Boehner said when he recouped, he said, that's not what I was saying, but that's neither here nor there. You know what's happening, Sean?
He said it.
No, what's happening is you have delegates who have minds. And on the first ballot, most of them are obligated to support who they got there with. But look, Cruz and Trump don't win in the fall. In fact, here's going to be the concern. No, here's going to be the concern. We're not only going to lose the White House and the court, but we're going to lose the United States Senate. We're going to lose the courthouse, the State House. So when people look, I'm beating Hillary virtually everywhere in the country. In New York, the last poll had me only 5 points behind. Why would a delegate who was there who wants to win in the fall not go after the first ballot and say, wait a minute, Kasich has been a success in what he's done in public life. He's put a good team together, and he wins. Why would they not want to go for me if I can win and beat Hillary? I don't get it.
Final question. For the voters who waited online hours to pull the lever for your opponents, for those that spent hours caucusing, my question is, let's say it works out the way you are talking about here. How are you going to get those people that do feel disenfranchised to come along with you and unite everybody?
Because you have to spend time with them, and that's what you do during the convention and even after the convention. Look, Sean, I was a young guy, and I found myself in charge of 5 states for Ronald Reagan. There was not a more bitter contest than Reagan-Ford. And when we lost, we said we're going for Ford, okay? The only reason Ford lost that election is he pardoned Nixon, but he did the country a giant favor. You move on. And most of the people who are going to be there are not going to be people who are just going to storm out and walk out. They're mature people. There could be people here who will be a delegate.
I'm worried about the people that vote on Election Day, if they're going to show up. Because that would worry me.
Look, I can tell you that I don't have any antipathy directed towards me by Trump voters. I don't know the Cruz voters as well. They're not dissatisfied with me. They just went for somebody else. So then you work to unite them with a big message of what we can do in this country. And look, I can tell you this. If these guys get picked, look at their negatives. They're not going to win. If I get picked, we can win. I mean, I don't...
I said last question. I have one more. All right, sorry. If they brought in somebody who hadn't run and they leapfrog over all of you, I would be angry, wouldn't you?
Well, look, it's going to be... You know what? I'm running for president. I'm in Saratoga, New York. I'm having the time of my life.
Until I can. I know.